cavalcade of nets to follow. We're the 2 meters here on 146.415, 2 meters upper sideband on 144.240. Go over to 50.135 upper sideband on 6 meters, and then on to 223.415, and that's the big day. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Don't hesitate to jump in there, and we'll be glad to help you out. It's preferable you dial 911 dial. Nobody but dials anymore. What am I talking about? They may use dial, but they don't dial. Call 911. You can look at us, our net here on YouTube. You can see a nice display of my radio on YouTube. Just go to the search block on YouTube, put in K4PEW. Then you can go over to information on 146.415.net. All kinds of fabulous information there. You can also go to groups.I and look up MJSS in their search block, and you'll find our email distribution site, net schedule, and you can sign up, read the net schedule. Don't have to do anything for that. Doesn't cost anything. We are indeed the ARRL mention that it's not that critical. We just do it for the formality of it, I guess, if there is any formality here. A4PEW at ARRL.net. Oh, by the way, you put in you can put in the MJSS.io. Nights at 7:30 p.m. 28.415, and it's handled by Michael KM4YRF. And we also do the other nets. But he also does the 10-meter sideband, 10-meter FM, and also we move over to 223.415, following the other two nets. Okay, as you know, we're on this time, right on this frequency, 146.415 FM. Simplex, we've been doing this as our, by the way, there's a net number, nice little number. It's the 8th of April, 88, and we're starting from the south. Purpose of the net is to have fun, figure out who we can hear, can't hear, see if our antennas are functional. Problems we have, it's a nice test. Repeaters aren't much of a test. I can hit 30 repeaters from my driveway with a handheld. So if indeed you want to see how well you and your station are performing, the real critical elements of it obviously are antenna. You can have a crappy radio and still get a real good signal out if you have enough elevation and you have enough of a radio transmission. Again, the elevation and the antenna are critical. As far as announcements, I already gave them about what we're doing tonight. Also, what else? Oh yeah, the breakfast. We had a breakfast this morning. We had another. We went to a few hundred people. They apparently opened a couple hours later, but we weren't going to stay there, so we went over to IHOP, which is right down the street from Golden Corral. We all had a real good time, but it wasn't as good a time as Golden Corral. It just wasn't. We had to put up with a lot of other bums around it. You know? Anyway, does anybody have any other announcements? Nobody has to clear their throat tonight?
Nope.
Start takes 2 meters, 2 meters, and 1-223-415, and we've already done DMR, D-Star, and C4 FM. So that makes it's a big night in that. Maybe we should add another one in there just for fun. 1.2 gig maybe. I'm not sure about that one. Okay, we'll start taking mobile, and we're starting from the south, but first we're going to take the mobile and short on time.
KK5S.
Hey, Carrie, it's good to see you this morning.
Good to see everybody. Sorry, I'm running a little bit short on time tonight, but enjoyed it, even though we had to kind of change our location there on the last minute.
Yeah, we got to play it by ear, man. We're real men.
But we can always recover.
Yeah, that's right. Anything good for the net tonight?
No, just doing the net and remind everybody that tomorrow's Easter Sunday, and hope we all enjoy what the reason for Easter is. And I'll turn the net back over to you, Paul. Thank you.
If you watch the news, it's all about Easter bunnies and chocolate. Very good. That was Carrie over in Baird's Mill, Kilo 5 Sierra. Who else is short on time or mobile? All right, that was pretty quick. So we're going to starting from the south. Starting from the south. So please come now south.
Yankee Victor.
Very good. I had Larry at KF4, I mean KE4, Sierra Yankee Victor. Hold on. All right, Tony.
I am above ground and sitting upright and taking solid food.
Well, it doesn't have to be solid food. You know, you could be eating, you could be in an old folks' home and eating like grits and gravy and pudding.
Yeah, I could be gumming me a biscuit too.
Everything good for you today?
Yeah, wife, we went to the home show and she wished away a bunch of money. And I did some work on my security camera. I got a piece of something in my eye that's driving me nuts. But other than that, I'm good.
Well, make sure to take care of that.
I'm working on it. Anyway, that's it. Back in that Q4
Very good. That was Tony in Smyrna, KF4KFQ. Heard you in there fine, Larry. You sound good.
All right, man. We'll let you get on with it. KE4, that's what I be.
Very good. Larry in Rockville, Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankee Victor. He does the D-Star net at 7:15 on Saturday night, just before we do this one. Well, a little bit, 45 minutes before. Who else is Sal? No more South. All right. Who else is East?
KI4SIB, KI4SOR. Hello.
Man, you in a hurry tonight or what there, Richard?
No, I just James there. I don't get these on.
Man, James hasn't been around a couple of nights. I'm worried about him.
Yeah, I am too, to be honest with you. I enjoyed breakfast this morning, and good to see everybody. Thank you for doing what you do, and I got nothing other than an unproductive day around here. I went and got a few groceries and fiddled around, and other than that, not a whole lot going on. Back over to you, and take care. Happy Easter, and don't forget the reason for the season. KI4SIB, KI4SOR, back to net.
Very good. Well, 4SOR, just west of 11. Who else is?
Okay, I'm parking.
Hey, Stan. I'm surprised. What antenna are you using on that we couldn't, that the Larry couldn't be great over here?
I'm using the Diamond X510.
You think that F5, that 510 on a Rockville, it might be some difficulty with terrain or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I was hearing them pretty good at, and at times I wasn't really hearing them all that well flying. I don't know what gives.
No, I'm sure it's. I'll have to do that. Him on that terrain thing and see what that looks like, because it's. You would think it wouldn't be a big deal if I can hear you. Okay, I mean you're about, I think 12 or 13, and I think down to Rockville. It's a little further, but I just don't know what the other issues are. Anyway, anything else for that, Stan? Very good. That's Stan. He's in Lebanon. Kilo Mike 4 Hotel Quebec Echo. Who else is East?
TXE, Kristen Royal.
Yes, you have to talk really loud to Mike when he's got his volume down.
Yeah, I had a feeling over there. Very clear.
It's funny is just like I say, just like C4 FM seems better on audio quality than DMR, but the DMR, because of its, I don't know, the way that whatever you call it, that digital is, sometimes it makes a mess of itself.
Yeah, I think they're kind of different algorithms, right? They're basically just chop up the data in different ways to where it actually sounds more fragmented and kind of more digital and kind of less natural. But yeah, I think it's sure for the C4 FM. I think it actually might have more bandwidth. They might use some type of technology to include a little bit more of the voice there.
Yeah, I don't know. The reason I say a reason, my speculation is they also, you don't DMR, right?
No, I don't. But I've talked from a C4 FM to DMR conversion and vice versa. Difference at that level, though. So I haven't heard pure DMR.
Oh yeah, what I was going to say was that you might know or not know that DMR of your mouse, you can turn it into a, you can, what do you call it? You can scramble it. It's not commercial. They can't do it for amateur.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's able to be scrambled right in the software whatsoever, but then again, it's only illegal.
Yeah, those VMware radios are pretty wild. They have a lot of capabilities that are your standard amateur rig.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they really don't get out as well as either Fusion or just.
That's strange. It must be something with the signal, the way with hatching it. It's harder to.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know the reason. It's just funny how it just doesn't get the same. Generally, it doesn't get the same distance. Tonight, it seemed pretty good on but whatever. All right, anything else for the net, Chris?
Nope, that's all I've got. 73.
Very good. That was Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie. In Rural Hill, south of me. Everybody knows what Rural Hill is. There's a sign in that general vicinity on the highway. But it says Rural Hill, but doesn't really tell you where. It's on the, what do you call it? Mount Juliet, South Mount Juliet Road. That sign says. It's south or east.
W40 be at Diesel, Earl and Norrie.
Hey, Earl. I got what you call it? Eddie jumped in on there, man. So one of these days you're gonna make one of the breakfasts there, Eddie.
Yeah, that. I hope everybody's doing okay. Thanks for doing the net. And got much more traffic. Watching a movie, black and white.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, if it take too much longer getting over the breakfast place that only serves banana pudding and coffee.
Hey, that sounds good.
Very good. Everything going all right, though?
Oh.
All righty. That was Eddie, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-ray in Gladeville, watching old movies. And what else we got? Oh, Earl's in there. How you doing, Earl?
I'm doing good there, Paul. Curious about how you. It's, if I may be a little bit nosy.
Oh, you can be as nosy as you want. My life's an open book. That's about the internet. It is an open book. No, it's going well. We're doing great over here with our 5 dogs, cat, 6 parakeets, and a turtle in the pond.
Hey, okay. Well, to be a little bit more specific, if I may, I was through antenna status over there, because I was also concerned about my over here on my end in terms of how that project's going. Maybe my project ain't going so well over here, but doing nothing but leaving it like it is.
Oh, you're doing fine over here. Your audio's good. Your signal strength is a little lower than normal. That may be a propagation issue. I'm using it's still got to figure out what's wrong with that. I don't really want to do that. But if anybody's willing to come over and tear it apart with me, that'd be great. But it's not that big a deal. I'll figure it out. The 700 is not up. It's not a 220 band in it as well. It's a good antenna. It gets out well. It just doesn't get out as well as the 700.
No, I'm kind of curious, because last I heard is you was having conflict of interest with because I'm getting about like well, less of the six what I'm used to those I'll let it go at that. Not but I just kind of curious. Okay, so like it is, and can't seem to mow. Procrastination of lawnmower maintenance and the weather, Mother Nature doing the hokey pokey too. So
Oh yeah, no, I've just got to get there and do it. I haven't been around. Well, partly it's been the weather. Partly it was I haven't been doing a whole lot since and I had some little issues here and there, and so that's been plus I'm dragging my feet. I need to just go out there and do it. Over with. But you're right, it's starting to be mowing season too, so we can start complaining about that.
well, that was another issue. I was
Well, I don't know if it's even necessary to talk to you about. Maybe not on the radio, but I didn't know if it would be appropriate to call you on the phone issue as well. So I've been procrastinating on my output in terms of being his nosy neighbor, okay?
96.
All right, okay. Well, I was just checking. Anything other than ride the storm down over here in the big city of Stick City, or Cedar City as I call it. Noreen on the back side of Cedar left the state park stuck in the hole. So we'll catch you later. And 7-3 to anyone and everyone that can roger my transmission. This is once again KE4D. Let me look in the mirror and make sure I can see who I am. Okay, there's my joke for today. Happy holiday. We're back in there.
Very good. That was Earl, Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. He's over in Noreen, which is on the east side of the Cedars 11 Park. Anybody else east?
KF4ZDG.
K04, is it not?
Kilo India 4Z. Zulu Delta Golf.
Yeah, it was only off by about 12 letters. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Oh, doing pretty good for getting to be an old man.
That's just all in your imagination, right?
Yes, in a sense, because my imagination is fooling me by thinking my memory isn't as good as it used to be.
Yeah. I don't think my memory has never been good, so I'm dreading getting to that age where it's actually really going downhill.
Well, it's it's just my dad did the same thing as he got older, and he lived just 3 years longer than I am right now. So, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna outlive him though, because not out. He died some years ago. He died 20, almost 23 years ago. But a drinker and a smoker his whole life, and he had a stroke at 77. So I don't drink or smoke, and I've been fairly active. So hopefully I'll go past his mark.
Yeah, I hope so too. Sounds like you're living on the straight and narrow there.
Well, more or less. It's a joke about it. Somebody actually thought I was serious. I said, yeah, don't smoke, don't drink, and I make my own dresses.
Cool. Yeah, I was trying to check in there on the. I guess I got in on the C4 FM just barely, but I was trying to do the whatever the icon visual mode is. I can't think of it. I just picked up the 705, but I guess the full 5 watts, the tiny antenna I had on there was not making it out. I was hearing a lot of folks. So.
You should have been able. I should have been able to hear you here in Montreal, because I was on the D-Star.
Yeah, I saw your call sign come up, but yeah, I don't really have a. I just got it a couple weeks ago, and I haven't got it all. Everything set up. I'm going to try to check in on the sideband net. I just got to go. I've got a Yagi up in the attic. I've got to go mess with here and get it hooked up to the radio, and I'll try to check in on the sideband net here a little bit.
Oh, you've got a sideband on 6 meters in the end?
Not on 6 meters, on 2 meters.
Oh, okay, yeah, very good. Yeah, that should be fun. And it is vertical, I think.
Yes, it's vertical.
Okay, it's fair. It wouldn't matter really. But I happen to be on 2 meters. I think everybody's vertical, but on 6 meters, some people are horizontal and some people are vertical. Anyway, anything else for that, Kevin?
Not tonight. You guys have a good night.
Very good. Good to hear you on the air. That was Kevin, Kilo India 4 Zulu Delta Golf, and he's here in Montreal. Who else is east or north?
KE4 TW.
Hey, Wes. Anything good going on in the northeast sector?
No, I got rained on all day.
I planned some outside activities today based upon what I thought was accurate, but it got cold, wet, and nasty. But it's all good. Good time had by all. Nothing to report from my sector.
Well, I'll tell you, I get a kick out of it. I'm no meteorologist. I'm trying to figure out how raindrops, that misty little teeny tiny drops, it's so small. I can't believe it. It's like you're running through a mist.
Yeah, I know, and I was out there for probably 4 or 5 hours outside. So otherwise, everything is good here, and you're strong as normal, but a better test of your signal is mobile. I kind of know where you're strong and not. So I can't corroborate what Earl said, but Earl was pretty much what he usually is. So all right, back to that KE4TWR.
Yeah, very good. That's Wes up by the lake, kind of northeast Wilson County. It's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Whiskey India. Who else is southeast or north?
WB0 in OO.
Hey, can I ask you a silly question, Mark? What was that reference to Swedish that I didn't catch?
Read it backwards.
Oh, I was wondering. Okay, I'll have to look at that again. Yeah, when I posted that, maybe people I thought that was serious, that thing about cable.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought it was hilarious that somebody would put something up that without commentary in CQ magazine.
Well, the name that I posted was, if you read it backwards, it's April Fool.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't catch it. I was trying to understand what that. It just didn't make any sense to me when I read it.
Well, you must be kind of slow.
Oh, you're just catching on to that?
Well, kinda. Yeah, it was Lurpa, which is April Fool in reverse.
Yeah, I got you. Very good. I'm not sure if everybody picked up on that, because normally, well, no, I'm not sure. I would have seen it if I was paying any attention to it. Why you would even mention it, it just confused me. Anyway, it was actually a pretty good joke, since, like I said, there was no correction on the article in CQ magazine, and so I went to the guy's call, and I wanted to see if it was like a jokester, prankster kind of guy. He's a retired, commercial engineer in radio work, commercial radio work and broadcast engineering. I mean, this is like he's got a nice picture of him and his wife up there. He's got a nice station with some old gear in it, and it's like he couldn't be any more straight. That he's up in, I think he's in Minnesota, so it just looks like I don't know. He must be a jokester. That you couldn't see it in his site though.
I think this qualifies as he gotcha.
Well, I did post it. I didn't say it was true. I just thought, I didn't even think anybody would read it, quite honestly. Notice I highlighted that section.
Yeah, it was posted. I don't know where it was. Maybe the ARRL news or something like that on April 1st. So I had seen it, and I think maybe Robin had too. But I have to admit that I did read about half of it before I thought. I thought this was really goofy when I started reading it, and then when I got to the guy's name, I did a forehead smack.
Oh yeah, well, it's some things in jokes like that, just little misdirection jokes or whatever you want to call them, April Fool's type jokes. They sometimes they appear to have a shred of truth to them, and you say, is that something that I should be knowing about? About the cable going. Sounds funny now even saying a cable going in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, maybe you can buy clockwise and anti-clockwise cable.
Well, just an add to that insult to injury. I had a guy, I'm pretty sure he drank while he was on the air. This is up in New York State, up in Buffalo. And he had a good elevation in his house. He had a fantastic antenna. He could get out for about 40, 50 miles. Of course, the terrain's pretty flat. And he used to brag that he's 1 watt. He always could operate on 1 watt. He did have great audio, great signal. He was kind of a nutty guy. And I said, tell me what kind of feed line you're using on that antenna. He says, well, I don't have it handy right now. He's trying to rummage around like under his desk, and he's like, you hear him fumbling and trying to talk on the air at the same time and telling me, and he goes, I can't see it. He goes, but it's the kind, and so he didn't know what he was talking about. It was hilarious to listen to him because either that or he was trying to fool me or he was just too drunk to know. He goes, it's the kind of feed line that is all nothing but air. There's no copper in it. It's all air. I said, are you trying to tell me this is this is like a rectangular, this is a ducted transmission for 2 meters? He was going out to your antenna. Yeah, it doesn't have any, it's all air. I go, okay, thank you. And I'm thinking, he doesn't really know how big that is for 2 meters.
No, I can't imagine how big waveguide would be for 2 meters, but you should be able to crawl within the cross section of it.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I knew about the waveguide stuff. Over 50 years ago, because we had waveguides in the ship we had. They provided me one. The radio room was the radar transmitter and the radio room were right below us, our deck. And we had waveguides that ran up through our deck against the bulkhead and it went straight up, and it was up because we were almost up against the mast where my location was up above the main deck. And there was these two ducts, that's what they were. It looked like sheet metal ducts. And I looked at them and it said, do not strike. It had written to stenciled on it, do not strike. And I go, what the heck are those? What is that? I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. And so I asked somebody, those are waveguides, because the high frequency radar transmissions was both for surface radar and for the air search radar, 2 different frequencies. There were 2 different ducts, waveguide sizes.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it. So it's amazing stuff that how it can work, but I guess it does, and obviously it does, but whatever. Anyway, have a good net. I'll be listening and maybe catch up with you on Sideband.
Very good. That's what we'll have to do. We're going to start a 1.2 gig net, and that way we will mandate that everyone have waveguides for our transmission.
Yeah, I think it's still going to be kind of big. I think most of that stuff is 10 gigahertz and up, isn't it?
I believe you're right. It is. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for being on the net, Mark. That was Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar, and he is in Northwest Wilson County. Who else is north or east or south?
KB9RKK.
I got a technical question for you, Frank.
Okay.
Just correct me. Well, I'm not going to show my ignorance. What is the commercial temperature to meet on water side, just regular water side temperature, to make sure that you've sanitized dishware in a commercial establishment?
Okay. The final rinse must be 180 to 194, no less, no more.
Wow. Yeah, that's unless they were using a chemical, right?
Correct. Then it depends on the chemical they're using. It's in parts per million.
Okay. Do any residential dishwashers meet that standard?
They meet a different version of it because that is a commercial standard. They do have an NSF listed homeowner one, because it's not just the temperature, it's time times temperature. So at 100 and as soon as the plates reach 140 degrees, it starts to work. And what you're trying to get is they call it a heating unit equivalent, and you need to get 3,600 of those by the end of the cycle in order to qualify.
So the one, because I think that scalding, that the term scalding is around 140, 145.
Yeah, it's 140 is when you get scalded. It's when most people, unless they have something wrong with them, they can't keep their hand on it anymore.
Oh yeah, I'm just curious because that I never thought that the residential dishwashers met that standard in any way, but obviously they do.
Yeah, you're trying to get the plates up to 160 degrees, and the lab test is more critical, but the health department, that's what they test for.
they run a thermometer through the dishwasher, and it needs to get to 160 minimal.
Huh. Very good. I was just curious, and I hate to be off topic on that, but it's I think most people don't even realize there's a standard like that.
Yeah, there is. This is one where we actually, our standard, you know, the whole COVID thing, but it deactivated it. The U.S. standards did. The Europeans did not. So back during that, they all went and recalibrated their machines to our standards, basically.
Oh, really? They weren't meeting the same high standard?
No, they for years we'd get, you know, picked on, like, you guys are just wasting energy. No one, you know, there's no difference between 170 and 180 degrees. You know, you're wasting all that energy. Then when they tested it on the virus, they're like, uh-oh, we have to keep raising the temperature. Where do they end up? At our standards.
Well, not to belabor the point, but you could go with a lower standard if the dishware and everything in it could dry out completely.
Yeah, I mean, that test is strictly for, you know, for they have three parts to getting approved. It's construction. You know, they have to meet certain physical requirements with baffling and how it's constructed. 2, performance tests for cleanliness, like how good it cleans, and then the most important one is the thermal, which is, or the germ killing test. Now, interestingly, on the chemical one, they actually put bacteria on the plates and send it, you know, test it in a lab. With the high heat one, high temp sanitization, it works. It's a known entity, so they just go by temperature.
Oh, wow. I know that when I don't know I know you were on a ship for a while, but when ours went through the Vulcan machine, because it was it had a steam heat exchanger on it for the. And man, you could barely get out of those metal. You had to wear gloves to take the metal plates back to the serving line.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they get hot enough. 160 will burn you bad. So if you just grab them, so that's hot there, and you got to wear gloves, you know, for sanitary reasons as well. But that's the other reason, they will burn the heck out of you. And I had to operate that machine, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I know, and I worked in the scullery, and that was like living in a sauna.
That's what I did. We had to take turns, and I had to do that. And when I had that, I talk about, man, every part of you was wet.
Yeah, we'll talk about it some other time. I had me and my partner had a lot of fun. we made it fun in the scullery. Anyway, anything else good regarding ham radio?
Well, I got to the party late here, so I take it you did something to your setup.
Oh, only that I'm on a different antenna. It's a little. It's on the backup. It's the tri-band, the 2-meter, 220, and 70 centimeter antenna. It's like an 8.1 gain versus 9.1, whatever the X700 is, and it's also shorter. It's I don't remember how tall. It's 15 feet, maybe 17 feet. I forget.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't recent, that because you've been on that for a little while. Yeah, I can't really tell the difference. I'm too close to you. But okay, yeah, no, I didn't have anything other than I wanted to make it out there, but I just couldn't get up this morning. I had a late night last night, so didn't make the breakfast. So anyway, hopefully I'll catch you next time. Oh, I was going to say one thing real quick. I do have a Swedish clock. A Norwegian gave it to me, so he calls it a Swedish clock. It goes backwards.
Oh, I've seen one of those. That's great. Hey, I tell you what, that's one place I'd love to go because I see the pictures of Sweden and Finland and Norway, and it looks like paradise.
Yeah, as long as it's not in the wintertime.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. If you don't mind minus 50 degrees.
They, some of those places are by the Arctic Circle. But yeah, he likes cold weather, and he brought me this clock. And basically, it always confuses people because they're like, "Wait a minute, what? I'm like, it's backwards. And they're like, how do they do that? I go, it's a barbershop clock movement but instead of being, the numbers are not backwards, like written backwards. They're backwards. They're just backwards, but written the right way.
Yeah, that'd be a little confusing, isn't it?
It is, and it always drives people nuts. And part of the reason is our boss is Johnson, and he was Swedish, and this guy Torgerson was Norwegian, so he called it a Swedish clock just to mess with the boss.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I don't meet too many people from that part of the world. I hear them on the air, but I don't meet many of those people. Anyway, anything else for the net, Frank?
Negative. I'll turn it back over to you guys. KB9RKK.
Yeah, we're scullery bums, man. Who else is that was KB9 Romeo Kilo Kilo Franken. He's here in Mount Juliet on the northwest sector. Who else is north?
K4BWA.
Hey, Ricky. Yeah, I just saw your note you sent me via the website tonight, so I'll have to get something out to you.
Oh, roger that. Hey, you got actually your signal is the best it's been since you were since you swapped over. You got a good clear signal tonight. I don't know. The last prior times you had a little static in behind it, but you know what? I guess it was just conditions because you got a great clear signal tonight.
Yeah, it's amazing, really, how well. Again, you begin to be. I can't say that I was particularly good at it 15 years ago, but having been on the air for about 15 years, and 17 years, whatever it is, going on 18, you begin to hear things better in terms of what's good and bad. You just get, especially on Simplex, and you're right. But then you see the little variations in signal and audio quality, and you go, wow, there are a lot of changes in 2-meter propagation, just a lot.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, totally different than last week. You had it wasn't like static. It was like a little crackling in the signal, and the week before also. But this week none of that at all. But hey, it's all good. Just wanted to give you a check in. I know you got some more nets going later on. Don't want to hold you up. It's been a beautiful day up here for me. I can't complain. 73 to everybody out there. I do want to mention that this coming Thursday, April the 13th, I canceled my Simplex Net on 1475555. I'll be attending the club meetings, so I don't attend too many of them, but I figured I'd attend this one and won't be able to do the net. So I just want to let everybody know if they're listening in and they check into my net that this coming week will be canceled and they'll be back on air on April 20th at 7 o'clock.
Very good. Don't forget, Ricky does do it normally Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on 147.555 Simplex. On Thursday night, 7 p.m. But this coming the 13th, he's not going to be doing the net. So just don't. You can show up and do it by yourself if you want to. There might be some other people there at 7 o'clock. I don't know. Anyway, that was Ricky, Kilo 4 Bravo Whiskey Alpha. Good to have you in there, Ricky. Who else is south, east, or north?
KO4 DFA.
X4 Foxtrot Echo Golf.
Okay, I had 2 in there, but I got John in there first. Everything going good in your sector?
Yeah, I just wanted to check in with you real quick. I got to get running, and I'm on the last leg of the net, so I'm running out of time. But I tried to show up for breakfast this morning, and the Golden Corral was locked.
Yeah, we tore up the place and they kicked us out, and the fire department had already left, I think.
I knew that was going to happen, but it's the one time I get up early enough so I can have breakfast, and you guys destroy the place.
Now, what happened was we got there, and the door, they said, well, we're not going to be open until 10 because the truck didn't show up. I'm thinking, you guys don't get the truck the day before? So we went over to IHOP. You should have jumped up on the radio. We would have copied you.
You know what? You're absolutely right. I've been kicking myself for that, too, because I had to take my dog to the dog park first, and I have a radio sitting in the truck. I could have been listening.
Yeah, no, all you had to do was just jump. We had an HT there listening for anybody else. Because we left it, I don't know, it was a little after 8, probably 8:10 when we got out of there, maybe 8:15.
What time did you leave IHOP?
IHOP, we left about 10:20 or 25.
I called you one time on this station, and I got nothing. I was just like, maybe I missed the memo. Let me go check the email.
All right, no, I'm sorry about it. What time was that?
It was probably a little after 9. After I figured out the doors were locked, I jumped in the truck. I turned on the radio. I should have done that, before, while I was taking the dog to the dog park, because you have to do him first. But yeah, I blew it. but I called for you and nobody responded, and I figured whatever.
Oh, no, I got it. Well, at least you didn't have to travel too far, thankfully.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just down the street.
That's right. Anything else for the net, John?
No, I'm just gonna go get some shoes on and listen to my guitar player buddy of mine's playing up the street here a little bit. So I'm gonna get a car and go up there and have a couple whiskeys.
Ah, very good. That was John, Kilo Oscar 4 Delta, Foxtrot Alpha. He is in Hermitage. Who else? Oh, I heard FEG in there. Let's give me your whole call again, please.
Kilo Quebec 4, Foxtrot Echo Golf, Kevin, and Bethpage.
Ah, very good. Kevin, you sound great tonight.
Yeah, it's amazing when you turn the mic up to high and actually talking to the right side of the mic.
I did that. I was mobile one time. I was down in Florida. I don't remember where I was going. I was crossing an I-4 going east, and I called out on, I might have been on 5-2, I don't remember. And I heard, it was a kid. And he goes, you know, he was fumbling around. I could barely hear him. And he says, I'm using my uncle's radio. And he was just really excited about using it. And I could, like I said, I barely hear him. Then he goes, after a couple of sentences, he goes, "Ooh, I'm sorry, I was talking on the wrong side of the microphone."
Hey, I'm a newbie. What can I say?
No, that's all right. It was just funny to me because he was a kid. He was just like, 7 or 8 years old or something. I forget. But no, we all make mistakes. Believe me, I've made more than my share, way more.
Yeah, well, I've had a pretty good day. Ate breakfast with some close friends and been reprogramming my new handheld with so the channels all matched up with the 2 meter I have at home. So that took me a little while.
Oh man, that's too organized.
Well, I wish the spreadsheet functions were a little easier. It would have taken me about half the time, but I do like the RT system software.
Oh yeah, I have that as well. It's very good software. You're right. The only difficulty I ever had was extracting in working on those spreadsheets to take them out of one format and put them into somebody else's format and getting them correct.
Well, both of the radios I'm dealing with are icons, but I pulled the file from Repeater Book, and Repeater Book had the cities all listed, but when I copied and pasted, the city column wasn't listed, so I had to go back in the notes and hand write every city for 7.
For you cut out there for 70 cities, you said? Either blew a fuse or your cerebral cortex went bad. Well, Kevin's gone. Unless it was a nuclear alert or I don't know, the apocalypse. That's what it is. That was Kilo Quebec 4, Foxtrot Echo Golf. He was in Bethpage until he dropped out. I don't know what happened. Kevin, you still there?
I think I need to charge my battery. That's all.
Okay, very good. I heard you in there that time, Kevin. All of a sudden, you just dropped out. Well, very good. Good to have you in there. That was Kevin, KQ4, Foxtrot Echo Golf in Bethpage. Great signal. Who else is north or east or south?
W8PLA.
Yeah, it was good to see you in there today at the second breakfast location.
Yeah, it was good seeing you guys. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we're probably on you have a good handle on a lot of the clubs in the area, so I'm guessing we rank near the bottom.
Oh, no, not at all. But I try to make my ways around, and I just can't be in multiple places at the same time, and so I just have to give the favor where it's due.
Oh no, I wasn't. Not the how you visited them. I'm just I was thinking about your commentary about one of the other many clubs in the area, and some are better than others.
Oh, that's right.
And the Wilson Club, I think, is pretty good, quite honestly.
Oh yeah, they're all good.
Yeah, I don't have a good handle. I just well, I wouldn't say it over the air anyway, but my criticisms are rarely about the people. I mean, it's about, it's in particular, or about anybody in particular. It's just all clubs are. It was I think it was that old saying that I heard when I first got into ham radio, and I understood what they were saying. I said, if there's only 3 people in town, there's generally 2 ham clubs, you know, because they can't get along.
Yeah, that's right. You know, I've met a lot of good people over the last year to 4 months or so that I've been in this hobby. Mostly all of them are happy hams. There's a few sad hams in there, but you know, that's anywhere you go.
Oh yeah, well again, that's one of the. If somebody hasn't figured it out, I'm not here for the money. I'm not here for the fame. I'm not here for the because I'm lazy. Although I am lazy, but because it's fun. I mean, that's the. If it's not fun, why do it? And it's a hobby.
That's right, and it's a national, worldwide hobby. Is the best part about it. I mean, it's not just anything localized. It's all a common hobby.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything else for the net, Philip?
No, nothing else for the net. Just want to say 7-3 to everybody, and doing a fine job. W8PLA, back to net control.
Well, I know better than that. But nice, thanks for the kind words. That was Philip, Whiskey 8 Papa Lima Alpha. He's over in Tucker's Crossroads. I knew I'd think of it. Who else is any place north, south, or east, or now over to the west? We didn't get to west yet.
KO40TV.
Hey, you're all northwest, really.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, you know, well, last time I looked at it, I just a hair northwest there, but which I'm probably one of the farthest west. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if anybody's passed me, unless they're over in Bon Aqua or in that vicinity.
Yeah, and I haven't heard from the Bon Arca contact out there. I can't think of his name right at the moment. But yeah, I haven't heard from him in ages. I think he had some issues. Was it Don, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. What was wrong with Don's antenna?
I don't know, but he checked in on the 10-meter net not too long ago.
Okay, very good, very good. He's probably got bigger fish to fry out there. Anyway, back to Joel in Joelton. Well, actually, it's west of Ashland City. Everything going well?
Oh yeah. Well, other than the people behind me just bought this property and they're burning all kinds of stuff. Everything on my property smells like a campfire. But yeah, well, I mean, technically we are Ashland City, but I don't know. It's one of those deals where you just, you know, they got such a large zip code over here. I guess because I mean, even her dad and them are 25 minutes from us, and they're in the same one as well. But yeah, I'm just getting a headache from smelling this stuff all day. I tell you, it's been a rough day.
You have to start wearing a mask, and then people call you a wuss for wearing a mask.
I tell you, man, it's like the wind has been blowing this direction all day, and I mean, where I live at, man, we don't make small fires. I mean, this thing probably big around as a house, and when it gets to smoking, man, it is just horrific. It's just awful.
Oh yeah, no, I'm familiar. I had two fire stories when I was in Florida. One was they had a forest fire on the east coast of Florida. I lived on the west coast, which is about 120 miles away. I forget how wide it is. And the fire, and it was unusual because the westerly winds normally would be coming from my direction, going in their direction. But they had a fire, and all of Tampa was under a haze and smelled like smoke. Not horrible, but it was just obvious that there was a fire somewhere. The other one was I had a next door neighbor who he cut down a tree and there was a big stump there. So he decided instead of getting a stump grinder or digging it up, there was a big tree and he just started it on fire. That thing smoldered for weeks.
Oh yeah, and that's the worst thing about it. There's a property down on River Road which isn't far from here, and they've been dumping what seems like just sawdust. I don't know if it doesn't even look like it's chip wood by any stretch. It's just been smoldering like that for weeks now, and it doesn't look like it's moved at all.
That's what's funny to me is that in most municipalities, well, outside of the cities, I say city, Mount Juliet and Lebanon and Nashville, etc. Open burning is not even permitted unless there's a fire. It's not permitted ever. In Mount Juliet, you can't burn trash or anything. I don't think you can anymore. But out in the county, who cares about the ozone and global cool, whatever excuse they're using?
Well, I don't really smell too many people burning trash like you used to. I remember you used to see people do it all the time in the 90s.
which I hadn't seen that in a long time. And I'm going to tell you right now, if I start smelling plastic, I'm going to come unglued.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah, there's too many ways to get rid of that stuff, that are easy.
Yeah, and I get it, man. There's certain situations where people have to do it, and and then some people just too ignorant to know any better. Which I know a lot of people still do it, but I tell you that plastic, man, I can't get over that. That's just wrong.
Yeah, it's got a pretty bad smell, acrid smell that burns your nose.
Yeah. Well, you'll never forget everything around on your property would be covered in that really black soot too.
Oh yeah, that's right. But that's what's funny is that if you're going to behave that way, generally people do go out into the rural areas of the county because they know they can't do it in the towns or city.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, here where I'm at, you can definitely easily get away with it as long as the wind's not blowing in the wrong person's direction.
Yeah, well, I got a kick out of it. I don't know how long I was here, but I was just looking up the ordinances. I don't remember why though. I was looking at the Mount Juliet ordinances on their website, and it cracked me up because it talked about. Oh, I think I was looking up if you could fire a weapon, fire a handgun or a rifle. Which I was pretty sure you couldn't. I know why, because I had the guy who lives right behind me. He's got a huge piece of property, probably what's left of his farm. Who actually he owned the property I was on back in the 50s and 60s. I don't know. Anyway, his grandson's out there skeet shooting right behind my lot with some friends, and I saw him. I thought, wow, can they do that here? And that's why I was looking at it. But anyway, I was going to tell you in the ordinance. You can't shoot any handguns, rifles, and they included, of all things, snowballs, rocks, pellet guns, BB guns, and Nerf guns. Anything that you could fire, you could. I'm thinking, man, they're taking all the fun out of it.
Snowball, I've never heard that. I can see a BB gun, pellet gun, but a snowball. I don't know about that. That's just taking the fun out of everything, like you said. But yeah, so I guess the shotguns was out as well.
Oh yeah, no, they included slingshots too. I think slingshot. I'm thinking, man, did they get specific or what? I mean, now I actually, when I was walking home from a friend's house in my hometown when I was a kid, I was probably 15, 14 or something. It was in the winter, no less, and it was dark. I mean, it was at night, which people don't do that anymore. Walk at night. But in my hometown, you could do that. And the cops pulled over next to me and said, "Come here." Yeah. I go up. He goes, "Open your coat." I go, "What's wrong?" He goes, "There's somebody in the neighborhood complaining of a guy with shooting up windows with a BB gun." I go, "Okay, that's not me." He goes, "Open your coat." I go, "Okay, fine." He didn't strip search me or anything, but I just thought it was funny. I got searched for looking for a BB gun.
Oh wow, yeah. I tell you. What would have been funny is if they even mentioned tater gun on that list.
I'll have to go look again. If I find it, I'll send it over to you. But in other words, you couldn't throw anything. I'm sure it said you can't spit either.
You have to wear a mask.
Anyway, anything else for the net there, Joel?
No, that's it, Paul. KO4OTV.
Very good. That's Joel, KO4OTV. He is west of Ashland City. Who else is west?
KM4YRS and KN4TKF. KG4S.
Hey, hold on, Charles, KM4. I got KM4 GJF, and I got KG4SFF. Hold on there, Charles, and I got Michael and Rick in there. Michael, it was good to see you and Rick this morning.
Well, it was great to be there, but I missed Golden Corral.
Yeah, they made us mingle with the common folk over there at that island.
Yes, I know it. We're special over at Golden Corral.
Oh yeah, they treat us like the rest of the bums.
That's the truth. Listen, my 220 antenna, the wind has got it blown around directly toward Jack, and I got out there, but I can't reach it without getting up on the roof, and it was a little too dangerous for me to do that today. So I'll have to check into the 220 net by relay.
Oh, so you got a beam for 220?
Yes, I do.
Ah, okay, very good. I didn't remember you saying that, but that's cool. Which one did you get?
Hold on, just I got the paperwork right here somewhere. Hang on a second.
Already.
It's a frequency tester. It says.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. I don't know that one. Well, very good. Anything else for the net tonight from you and Rick?
No, not that I know of, Paul, but I'm going to definitely be listening on 220, and I'll have Jack relay me in.
All right. Well, I may be able to hear you anyway. That was Michael, KM4YRF, and he's checking in for his brother who can't get out on the air tonight for some reason with his own break. And that's KM4TJF. KM4TJF. How you doing there, Charles?
Stress. About to lose my place in a vehicle in 3 weeks.
Oh, it's 3 weeks away. Well, better start looking.
I'm looking, but I ain't finding.
Well, depends on. I don't know. Is there any? There's no spots up there in that northwest area up there around Joelton, Ashland City.
Everything's more than $1,000 a month.
Wow, isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, there's some stuff that's less, but you add in all these fees and deposits, first last month's rent. I don't have $1,000 just laying around.
Yeah, not many people do these days. I read recently, just this week, that said that I think it was 16 or 20% of the population has less than $1,000 in the bank.
What is that frequency on 220?
223-415.
Okay, wire 223-415. All right, I'll figure it out. I don't know if you'll be able to hear me.
Well, we'll give it a try. That can't hurt.
Easy for us, sir.
Very good. That's Charles. He's up in Ashland City area, Ashland City, Joelton area. Kilo Golf 4 Sierra Foxtrot. We're looking forward to hear you on 220 there, Charles. Who else is West?
Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor, Jack and Donaldson.
Hey, Jack. It was good to see you for a split second this morning.
Well, I had a family Easter brunch to go to, and I knew it was going to be brief. And then when the truck wasn't there and the place wasn't going to start till 10 o'clock, it's like I got to cut my losses.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. In fact, I hadn't heard from Brian, but he took off as well, so he must have had other plans as well.
Well, just sorry I'm missing everybody, and hope everybody has a good Easter.
All right, very good. Well, you see, when you don't show up, we just talk about you. You know what that is.
Well, I sure hope you do.
Yeah, very good. Everything else going good?
It's going great, and thanks for doing the net, Paul. KG4ILV.
Yeah, K4. I'm sorry, it's KG4ILV, and that's Jack, and he is in Donaldson. Who else is West?
Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo.
Hey, Greg. Copying everybody okay tonight?
Yeah, it's pretty good conditions. Even though I'm showing some noise on the spectrum scope, but doing pretty good. Well, I had a water heater put in about a month ago, and they had it set at about 140, which was dangerous. And I kept nudging it down to about I guess 126 is where I ended up, which is good. They say you want to be above 120 to keep them growing in primordial soup.
Well, you know what the temperature is required in healthcare situations in patient care rooms and from the taps or the tub?
It's probably up at that 140 or so.
Nope, 110 maximum.
Is that right? Yeah, that makes sense because that was for liability reasons.
Well, no, it's too easy because a lot of patients that are compromised, either they don't know it's too hot, or they're just physically any higher temperature would scald them or hurt their bodies. You know, like elderly people or people who can't move, or maybe they're incapacitated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I say, 126 is where I'm happy.
Oh yeah, no, I like a nice hot shower, but I don't like it broiling. You know.
Yeah, and then I've never had the thing that heats right after sink, and most people I know have and don't like them.
Or the ones that are the instant ones at the tap.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to run like number 6 wire over to those things, man. Those things eat up the juice.
Is that right?
Oh yeah. Well, you figure you have instantly, you could have a water heater that's on a, to get that kind of temperature, you need usually it's about a 30 amp number 10 wire. Well, when you got instant on and it has to heat it back, it's got to have some almost the same size wire going to that as you do an electric water heater.
Basically, it's a dead short.
Almost. Yeah. Anyway, did you see that video I sent out today? Did I send you guys that video?
I have. If you sent it, I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm lagging.
Okay, take a look. It was about electric vehicle batteries.
Very cool.
Very good. Anything else, Greg?
Now, see you on the next one, KD4CVE.
Yeah, very good. That was Greg and Antioch, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie Victor Echo. Anybody else? Any place, anywhere?
KC4TNQ.
Hey, Charles. You copying everybody okay tonight?
Yeah, pretty good conditions on the FM here. Everybody pretty well.
Yeah, it is very good. You're right. I was very surprised. Because some nights, even on the DMR, it was very good tonight.
Yeah, I thought so, but I don't know what was going on with Michael. I didn't know if he had changed something with his antenna or something or what, but I usually could hear him pretty well on DMR and on the Fusion, but I couldn't hardly hear him on Fusion at all.
That's odd, really, because he was killing me over in here in Montezuma.
He must be on the beam.
I don't think he is. I don't know what the problem is. It will be going toward you because you are northwest of him, are you not?
Yeah. He's kind of over off 440 and 40 over there on the Glendale side, what I want to call it.
Yeah, just west of the airport.
Yeah. I guess I would be north and west of him a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just curious what the path was. It would be so crappy between you two.
I don't know. I don't know if it's interstate or him being maybe down low or what. Who knows?
Yeah. Anything else good for the net?
No, nothing new. We're up late on the radio last night, so I didn't get to the breakfast this morning. So, and I heard you talking about that you had to go somewhere else.
Yeah, no, it was kind of a surprise to all of us. Anyway, that's Charles, Kilo Charlie 4, November. I'll get it right. Kilo Charlie 4, Tango, November, Quebec, and West Nashville. Anybody else looking now for lollygaggers, lurkers, and sandbaggers?
Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Lima Tango, Rick in Hartsville.
Oh, man, Rick, last week you were actually horrible to me, and tonight you're fantastic.
Well, that's because last week I was on that gate pole with the HT. Tonight I'm on the regular radio.
Ah, okay, that was the reason. I thought I heard somebody say it was HT. I said, I can't believe he was on an HT.
Yeah, they've been several times, especially in the summer equinox there, that HT hits you really well.
Yeah, I got you. But sometimes I've had other stations in Hartsville that didn't do as well. It might be just their situation that's bad, you know.
Yeah, probably so. But it's good to hear you. It's been a while since I've been able to get into you and talk to you. I've had a knee replacement done. Ain't been spending a lot of time on the radio. The radio's outside in a exterior building, so it's not like I'm in the house, you know, and get to you. But anyway, appreciate you doing the net. And been meaning to get down there and have breakfast with you. And hopefully that'll happen soon. CB3 to you all. Have a good evening.
Yeah, very good. Quick question. What do they use? What kind of metal do they use now in a knee replacement?
I do not know what the metal composition is. I didn't ask that.
I'm just curious. I'm assuming it's one of those specialty ones, like a special stainless steel or titanium or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never asked that.
I'm just curious. Anyway, I'll have to look that up. I'm probably got a hip replacement coming up at some point in the near future. I got those kind of issues. But anyway, good to hear you in there, Rick. That's Rick in Hartsville. Kilo Oscar 4, Uniform Lima Tango. Good signal out of Hartsville. Anybody else, any place, anywhere? I think I heard AC9IM. Really a lot of noise in there tonight, Steve. How you doing? I didn't copy all of that, but it's good to hear from you. It really is. I was wondering about you. I hadn't heard from you directly in a while, so I was assuming you had a lot of work going on. Anyway, anything else for the net? So I'm not sure I can hear it unless I get a relay. Very good. That was Steve, and he's in Scottsville. Yeah, Scottsville, Kentucky. Alpha Charlie 9, India Mike. A little bit of noisy, but I was able to copy him. I recognize his voice, oddly. I started to do this for a while, and you recognize people's voices more than you do their call. Anybody else? Please come down. All righty, we had 27 in there tonight. Good night for 2 meter FM. We're going to move right over, unless I hear a complaint, over to 2 meters upper sideband. That's on 144.240. All right, that's where we're going. 144.240. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey on 144.240. Looking for check-ins from the south. Please come down. Anybody from the south, please come down. Anybody from the west?
KM4, wow, yeah.
Okay, that was like I'm going backwards. That's good. Anybody? Man, we got KM4 YRF Michael, and we'll go backwards. It doesn't matter. KM4 YRF. You sound good, Mike. In west of the airport. Who else is west? Kilo Delta 4 Charlie Victor Echo. That's Greg and Antioch. Sounds good. Who else is west?
KG4 LV.
Hey, Jack. Sound good. Kilo Golf 4 India Lima Victor in Donaldson. Who else is west? Anybody west or north?
KB9 RKK.
Yeah, you sound good. You copying everybody tonight there, Frank?
Absolutely. Sounds good, everybody.
Very good. That was Kilo Bravo 9, Romeo Kilo Frank, and Northwest Juliet. Who else is west or north?
WD0 NOF.
Yeah, very good. Very good, Mark. In Northwest Wilson County, Whiskey Bravo 0 November Oscar. Who else is north? North or west? Or east?
KG4 CXE, Chris in Rural Hill.
Very good. That's Chris with a big signal out of Rural Hill. Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Who else is east?
Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo 0.
Very good. We got Earl in there with a nice signal tonight. Kilo Echo 4 Delta Echo Zulu. Who else? Anybody else? Any place? Anywhere?
Yeah, 4 DDB.2.
Very good. I got 2 in there. I got Stan. I heard in there. I think I heard Stan first, but KM4HQE. Stan, you sound good. And I think I heard Kevin. Was that Kevin?
Yep, KI4ZDZ Kevin here in Gladeville.
Very good. KI4ZDD in Gladeville. That's Kevin. Good signal. Is anybody else? Any place? Anywhere?
KC14Q.
Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec. Well, you have a good signal tonight too as well there, Charles.
Yeah, sounds good tonight on upper side band.
That's a big night tonight. We got 11 in there so far. Anybody else out there? That was Charles, Kilo Charlie 4 Tango November Quebec in West Nashville. Who else? Anybody else? Is anybody copying anybody else? Almost sounds like I can hear voices in the distance, like in a bad, scary movie. Anybody else out there? No, don't hear anything. That was good. We had 11 in there tonight. We're going, and Michael, would you announce we're going over to, where are we going? 50.135. That's where we're going. If you would announce that for me, I appreciate it. That's, we're going over to 50.135. Just give me a second to change over here. K4P.
Will do.
Oh, you gotta get down.
Right, turn one.
Well, I'm going to compromise the antenna, but let's give it a try. K4PW looking for check-ins on 6 meters. All right, hold on 1 second here. With 6 meters, I got KO4 OTV. I got Greg KD4 CVE. And Antioch. Who else on 6 meters? Please come in. All right, we got KM4 HQE. We got Stan in Lebanon. Anybody else on 6 meters? Oh, that one I didn't copy. Who was that last one? Let's try it again. I'm not anybody copying that station? No luck. I'm sorry, I didn't copy that. My bad here on this antenna I've got. Who else? Any place, anywhere?
WB0
Yeah, you sound good. How are you copying me tonight there, Mark?
You sound good. You strong.
All right, very good. That's Mark in Northwest Wilson, Whiskey Bravo 0, November Oscar Oscar. Anybody else? All right, I don't think we have anybody else unless somebody's copying any stations. One last chance. Please come down. I'm on the well, it's off center fed, 6 through 80.
Okay, yeah, it sounds better than the usual one for me.
Yeah, very good. I'm glad you can hear it. One more chance. Anybody, any place, anywhere?
Oh yeah, I didn't hear you there, Paul. KG4 CXC, Chris and Royal. Yeah, I was waiting for Eastern.
Oh, okay, I just said any place, anywhere. That kind of all encompassing.
Yeah, I heard the discussion and got distracted by looking at the pictures. I was working on the phone.
Okay, very good. That was Chris in Rural Hill, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo. Great signal, big signal. Who else is anywhere? Hey, by the way, Chris, are you using that 10 meter, 6 meter arrangement you had?
Yeah, it's that square loop. So this is a full wave in 6, and it's about 100 watts going into it, and it doesn't do 10 anymore just due to the length. You know how antennas are weird. You change the length of the wire, and it changes the resonance. So, but yeah, it'll do 6 pretty well still, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah, it's doing 6 great. It's a big signal. That was Chris, Kilo Golf 4 Charlie X-Ray Echo in Rural Hill. Who else? Anybody else out there? Say again? Oh, okay, very good. I didn't hear you there, Frank. Sorry. Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo with a good signal. Which antenna are you on? You're weaker.
Yeah, I'm on there. I had a weak.
Yeah, very good. You dropped out on me.
The tree fell. I had a weak antenna.
Okay, I still got you in there, though. That was Kilo Bravo 9 Romeo Kilo Frank in Northwest Montreal. Anybody else? All righty, we're going to move right over to that was finishing up for the 50.135 on 6 meters. And appreciate everybody. There were 7 of us in there tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7. Moving over to 223.415, unless I hear somebody complaining. All righty, that's where we're going. 223.415. And I'll be there momentarily. K4PW. This is Kilo 4 Papa Echo Whiskey looking for check-ins on 223.415. I guess we ought to start from, where was I before? From the south. Or east. Hey, very good. I got you in there, Eddie. You sound good. You can check in on all these nets, man. I know you're watching a movie. That was we got Eddie in there, Whiskey 4 Echo Bravo X-Ray. Who else? East. Anybody east or south, east or north? Yeah, you sound good. You must be copying Eddie, aren't you, Mark?
You know, I can copy Eddie when he runs 20 watts or so, but if he's running 1 or 2, I can't hear it.
How much power are you running, Eddie?
Well, let me look and see here. Get me some strength enough.
While we're waiting, anybody else checking in? So we got Greg in there. Whiskey Delta, Kilo Delta 4, Charlie, Victor Echo. Who else? All right, we got KB9, RKK, Frank here in Mount Juliet. Did I get Eddie come back? KG4ILV. What a big night tonight. That was Jack and Donaldson, of course. Kilo Golf 4, India Lima Victor. Anybody else? Kilo Charlie 4, Tango, November, Quebec. That's Charles over in West Nashville. Eddie, you got your numbers there?
Well, I don't know if I'm on low or high.
No, it sounded great. That's what I was saying. You had a big signal. Can you hear it up there, Mark?
Yep, I can hear him now.
You must be on high now there, Eddie.
All right, I'll leave it on this.
Yeah, he was unable to hear you on the other setting.
All right.
Very good. Anybody else out there, please come in. Okay, KM4 wire. Boy, his beam must be pointing right at you and not anywhere else. That's what I'm saying. He said his beam swung around and he wasn't able to communicate in this direction. Yeah, I was just barely copying Mike. I could hear him though, but I couldn't make out what he was saying. Go ahead. All right, I guess we're finished trying to figure out who doubled there, but we had 8 people in there tonight, so that's pretty good. Is anybody else out there? All right, very good. Anybody else have anything good? Everybody copying everybody tonight except for Michael? His antenna must be, well, he's close enough to Greg and Antioch, so I don't think that must be there. He must be pointed kind of towards you. Very good. Anybody else got anything exciting?
Shooters on that list of weapons?
I think it was. Like I said, they were pretty all-inclusive, man.
I think I heard Charles.
Oh yeah, no, I heard Charles in there, but you did. I'm pretty sure you should have heard Charles there, Eddie.
Okay, I heard Michael too.
Well, that's funny that you can hear. Oh, I guess it must be your elevation, but he's got a beam that's apparently not pointed in this direction.
Yeah, I'm on a horizontal beam myself.
Ah, okay. Well, that's and you're pointed west, I take it.
Don't know. I need to get my rotor fixed, my direction indicator. He's right at me in Antioch.
I'm telling you, Eddie, you've had that I don't know answer for quite some time now.
Well, I can't climb the tower, but maybe I'll get it figured out here one day.
Okay, what you're gonna have to do is rotate the tower.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, very good. Anybody else got anything for the net before we jump out of here? All righty, we're going to close out the net. We had a big number 8 in there on 223.415, and we had 7 in there on 6 meters, and 11 on upper sideband on 144.240, and 27 on the 2 meter net. So we're doing pretty good, and appreciate them all. K4PW closing.